Good evening, everyone. Hope all's well. We'll just wait for a few more seconds for everyone to trickle in and just get your pen and papers ready for this exciting and interactive webinar. Also, some housekeeping items. This webinar is being recorded. So in case you have to step out, answer a phone, have some dinner, we'll be able to email you the link from our YouTube channel and also the link for today's presentation as well, along with the presentation. So you can follow up, and if there's any particular questions of a particular slide, by all means, shoot us an email, and Adriana, Steve, Luby, and I are more than happy to connect you with that particular slide or inquiry. In addition, introduce yourself. This is a good opportunity for you to network amongst all of our colleagues that is present today in the chat. So what type of business you're in, how long have you been in business, any ideas in terms of how to grow your business, by all means, this will be a good opportunity to have examples in today's webinar. If you have any questions of a particular slide, by all means, I encourage you to put it in the Q&A, and throughout the presentation, I will be speaking on your behalf, and I'll be able to answer those, pretty much ask those questions to Adriana. So I want to thank you all for attending today's webinar, and allow me to introduce you to Steve Armin and Luby Sumler from Branches.
Thank you very much, Jesus. Good afternoon, everyone, and so excited that everybody's here today. We have an incredible turnout, and many more that we expect to join this evening. We had over 100 registrants for this training, and I do want to welcome you. Today is Marketing Fundamentals for Entrepreneurs, and we're really grateful to Jesus, guys. I do want to give a shout out to Jesus before we even get into what Branches does and how Branches can help you, because without the amount of work, really great work, really great effort by Jesus, today would not have been possible. So please, in the chat, join with me in giving Jesus a round of applause and a big thank you for making today possible. Guys, I just want to share a very short PowerPoint presentation. For those of you that are not familiar with Branches, and permit me to share my screen. It's just going to be a few minutes, and it's really to give you a general view as to what we do at Branches and what we can do for you as entrepreneurs. So today it's really a little bit of a description of our training for the fall period 2022, and today's training is a part of design that we've had working with Jesus and the team at Further SPDC at FIU to provide you with training from September all the way into December. Now at Branches, we use what is called people-centered design to help the families that we look after. So we do help people that facing financial turmoil in their lives, and we do provide them with support through what we call a two-generation approach. And the two-generation approach is that we work with the kids of those families, and then we work with the adults. And we use people-centered design as our method to help both the kids and the adults. And what really simply means that whatever that need is, Branches will find a way to help those families. So even if we cannot provide the support directly from ourselves, we do work within the partnership of the SBA Navigator. So we work closely with our partners, and if there's anything that we cannot do, we do reach out into the wider network of support organizations that we then refer you to for that very help. But at no point in time do we ever leave you alone. So building on the people-centered design in the program that we have, the micro business program. This is a program that's set up to help adults reach basically a level of financial independence and security. And we use something that we call business-centered design. And what is business-centered design? It's a very particular form of support where we look at exactly where you are in your business. We determine where you are in your life cycle. We look at the particular needs that you have, and then we work with you either to help build you out of those needs into, basically into areas of strengths, or we help you harness opportunities that's right there in front of you. So business-centered design means that we meet you where you are in terms of your needs, and then we do our best to help you. Again, if not directly, with the support of our partners and the organizations that we work with in the ecosystem. So at Branches, we look at your development under 4 main categories. Now, even though we have it divided here into these 4 areas, I do want you to know that the overlap and the integration between each one of these areas is seamless. So for entrepreneurship, we work with you to help build you as the owner of the business. And what we say is your business will only ever be as strong as you are. So investing in you as the owner, not just the business, is significantly important to our perspective and our approach. Business systems, right? One of the main reasons why businesses fail, right, is because they do not pay particular attention to their business systems. So what you'll be learning in marketing today is a significant part of the business systems development for every small business. What you would have done with us last month in terms of accounting is also significant in terms of your business systems development. And a lot of what we do with you, either directly in our personal consulting or training, evolves into additional knowledge gained under the perspective of business intelligence. And business intelligence is the maturity and basically the level of additional experience that you get as you grow as an entrepreneur. And what we know is that, building your business intelligence comes only from a process of learning and experience. And the last pillar, digital transformation, is a major focus because we do realize that you cannot survive in business today unless you are able to wrap what you do and how you do it around the efficiencies and the advantages that technology can bring to your business. And we do know that it is something that's, the growth of technology in the way business is done is far exceeding a lot of the business's ability to keep up. So it is a central focus for us here at Branches. And again, we're working with Florida SPDC at FIU for assistance in getting the support that you guys need for all of these pillars, right? To help you grow as entrepreneurs and to help you build your business. Our approach is very simple. Today is a form of a workshop, but we're using a webinar today, right? So we do a lot of workshops to help you build on your knowledge, build on your skills, and build on your capabilities and capacity as entrepreneurs. We have a saying at Branches, right? You don't know what you don't know, and that is significant in terms of your ability to grow, right? We try to get you the knowledge so that you understand that there's a world of information and opportunity out there that you can harness to your advantage, that you can harness to your benefit. And the way we do that is through knowledge gain, skills development, and capacity building. B2B cluster meetups because we know that businesses love to interact with one another. And we try to create a fertile space for you guys to either develop customers, gain customers amongst those that are in the network, or find suppliers, and even more significantly, find partners, right? Businesses that you can work with to make yours stronger, to be able to go after bigger opportunities that you may not be able to go after by yourself at this stage in the development of your business. So we do try to put you in a space where you're able to work with other businesses, and we do that through business to business cluster meetups. Conferences, personalized mentoring and coaching, which is something that Luby and I would do for you directly. We do have monetary grants, but I want to tell you that a lot of what we do with our monetary grants is tied to your commitment to your own development and to your own success. Subscriptions and information access, networking, customized training and support, and business progress tracking. And this is just some of the ways in which we help you to develop. And as I started my presentation, I did say that this is really a representation of our training for the fall period. This is a training that you guys, that some of you would have availed last month. And this is what's happening this month. Today we have marketing fundamentals for entrepreneurs. Next week is dig into digital, and that's understanding the foundations of digital marketing and analytics. And at the end of the month, we have an in-person workshop on how to become a social media influencer and a professional shoot. So I do want to let you know, seating is limited because of the size of the venue. We can only hold 80 participants. So I do implore you to register early, and please, if you do register to attend, do show up. We had literally over 100% attendance at our in-person workshop last week, and some people came who did not register, and it did create a little bit of a situation for us in trying to increase that accommodation. But at this particular space, we would not have that ability to do that because of OSH requirements. It can only hold 80 people. Please register early to make sure that your spot is available. And on that day, we'll be having a professional photo shoot take place for each and every one of you. Now, a lot of the marketing, a lot of the participants of branches have already gotten that photo shoot, right? And it's where we take that professional photograph of you that you can use on your social media, for your advertising, for your website, stuff like that. So it is going to save you a lot of money to have a photo like that taken. And I do want to let you know that even though the workshop starts at 10:30, the photo shoot is from 9:30 to 10:30. We'll be updating you on those times to let you know. So please make sure that you register early and that you do turn up on that day, because if you don't, you'll be literally robbing someone else of a space. And November, this is just some of the training that's going to be. It's our month of basically it's business planning. So September and October, business systems. The month of November, business intelligence, right? And not just business systems for October, but also some degree of digital transformation. So today, I'm very, very pleased to introduce our presenter, Miss Adriana Madrinan, right? She's the owner of Conceptor Strategies, a ton of experience in marketing. She has a bachelor's in industrial design and a master's in integrated marketing and communications. And she is also a consultant at Florida, at FIU SPDC. So guys, join with me in giving a resounding welcome and thank you to Adriana, who's now going to take over today's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here with all of you. Thank you. It's amazing to have such a big crowd. Today, we're going to talk about marketing for fundamentals for entrepreneurs. Since we are such a big group, please put your questions in the Q&A section. So, because I cannot see all of you on the screen, so then Jesus can help me really see who's asking questions. The idea of this presentation is a very practical presentation that could be for small businesses. But before we go there, I don't know if Jesus wants to talk about the Business Navigator, or shall we go ahead into the subject? For those that you don't know, we are currently working at the Business Navigator. It was a grant that was acquired, and we are working together with different partners. As you can see, Branches is within the partnership of the Business Navigator program. And as Steve mentioned, either you can get services through Branches or through any of the other partners. So that's the beauty of this program. We are dedicated to Miami, the local area of Miami-Dade County, and it's basically focused on minority-owned business, women-owned business, veteran business, and LGBTQ businesses, okay? So if you think you want more information, please contact Branches or look for Miami-Dade Business Navigator. Okay, without further ado, let's talk about marketing fundamentals for entrepreneurs. So today we're going to talk about the basics, because if you don't build the basics, it's difficult to get to the next level. So what are the benefits of marketing? Some marketing channels, how to create a budget that is a basic budget for your marketing, and how to create a marketing plan. And then I'll give you an exercise. So sometimes when we talk about marketing, and I ask a lot of people this question, the thing is, since we are so many today, I cannot open the mic. But when I ask marketing, usually people think of marketing as advertising, you know, like just that you put an ad or you use social media. That's what we think of marketing. But marketing is much more than that. So according to the definition of CMI definition, marketing is the process responsible for identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer requirements profitably. That's a lot of words. It's even difficult to read. I agree with you. So let's break it into pieces so it's easier to understand. Identify and anticipate. What that means is you need to know your clients very well. You need to know what are the pains and the gains. What is that really moves your clients? Because if you don't know who are your clients, why are you doing any marketing? You need to know what are the needs they have, so you can provide a solution for them. The next point that I say was satisfy. Satisfy comes from to provide the solution to the need they have. Okay? And when you say profitably, it's a win-win. That means that the client wins when they get the solution to the problem they have, and you win because you get paid either for your product or service. So from now on, I want you to think in marketing, not only about doing advertising, but really identify who's your target, know what is that they need, find a way to use your products or service to satisfy that specific need, and make sure that it's a win-win. So some benefits of marketing are, the first one is to generate efficiencies. We don't want to market to everyone. The reason we don't want to do it is, especially us as small business owners, is very expensive if we try to market to everybody. So we need to find what is the niche, that group, that segment that is really, I have a higher chance to reach, but also they will prefer my product or service, okay? The other benefit of doing marketing is that you can get the word out there. That means that you can help clients discover your products and services. Always when I look, you know, those movies of the Midwest, you know, old movies, and those little towns, there's always the sign, no? The sign of, I don't know, the bank and the store. So imagine at that time, so with the sign, everybody knew in the town what you do. But nowadays, it's not that easy because we are so many in the world. So we need to find ways to get our word out there. I mean, you may have a local store and you have a sign, but even how you tell more people that your business exists. So that's getting the word out there. Show your uniqueness. So we need with marketing to show what makes you unique and different. And because that's when clients will prefer your products or services. Think, for example, whenever you are buying a pair of shoes, if you even ask your friends, oh, maybe some of your friends go to the same stores that you like, but maybe others buy in a completely different way because they think they want something different and they choose different places to buy. Or even services, why some of us go to one hotel or not to other. So that's why we need to show our uniqueness so we can really create that match with our client. And finally, higher sales. There is no way to sell something if you haven't created enough awareness, then you have created trust, and then you have generated sales. So in order to sell, you need to make sure you have crossed all the stages. So the question is, are you doing marketing? And the chances is you are, even if you are not aware. Even if I ask some of you today and some say, oh, I've never done marketing, you are already there, even with your logo or your hat or your cup, or there are many things that you currently do, but you are not aware that that's marketing. And good marketing is like a good recipe, having the right ingredients in the right mix. And that's what we're going to talk a lot today. Let's talk about marketing channels, because I want you to go with this presentation thinking that there's a lot you can do before you invest money. So let's see how it can be. The first is all your own media. So for instance, if you have your website, any videos that you have, if you have a podcast, your product, your service, any content that you have, your location. Sorry, I put Google Biz because I didn't have a space to business, Google My Business. Since you're in the map, that's your own media. That's media that it talks about you create it, you manage it, and it's your media. That's not social media. Social media is a separate platform, and we can discuss it. Google My Business is a separate thing, but in a way, Google My Business it puts you in the map. So it says in the map you exist. Even if you have if you don't want to publish your address, there is a way that you tell them not to publish your address, but you can show in the area that you are available. So the best, please make sure that you start with your own media. So whenever you start doing marketing, make sure you have everything you can do on your own and you can control and it's yours first. The next group I want you to work in the channels are the earned media. And we forget a lot about this group. In the day you start your business, make sure you get testimonials, maybe interviews, articles, mentions, referrals, and reviews. Sometimes we have the best cookies, but nobody knows because we forget to ask people that really love our cookies to talk about them. Okay? So anything, earned media is when someone else talks about you. And I have a story here for, I worked 5 years in an advertising agency, and then I left because I had 2 little babies. And I worked for 4 preschools, a company that had 4 preschools. That was in 2008. So everybody left. I mean, the schools were less than 50% because, you know, with the crisis, everybody took their little kids out of the school. So I get contacted by the owner of the 4 preschools and say, listen, we want you to do marketing for us, but you don't have any budget. So whatever you do, you don't have money. The way they paid me was they took my 2 kids for free at the preschool, which was a very good deal, I admit, because you know, the preschool is pretty expensive. So that was a good deal, but it was tough when they said to me, no budget. I went from having in an agency, sometimes even budgets really of $100 million for Latin America. There were huge budgets. Sometimes in the millions, and numbers that were so big that sometimes are even difficult to think. It was so much what they did. And suddenly I have to move to a company with no budget. So the idea, what I did is I started working with the kids, working with whatever I had, with the parents' testimonials, with the interviews, the articles. That's a lot of public relations. So that's how I did it. Let me see. I think I have some questions in the chat. Okay, so if you have questions, just let me know. So that's the second group. The third group that I want you to think that is also available to you at no cost is make sure you have, I'm not saying to have all of them, all the Facebook, Twitter, all the social media, just the ones that are relevant for your business. So it could be Facebook, it could be Twitter, LinkedIn, if you are more in the service area for businesses, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, sorry, I wrote it wrong, and Google My Business, okay? And finally, is when you can move into the pay area, the pay media. So Facebook ad, Instagram ads, Google ads, sponsored post, lead generation, magazine ads, and radio ads. So make sure you build all your media for free first, and then you move into paid media. We want people, remember, we're trying to build awareness first, so people trust you, and then people buy from you, okay? So how can we create that budget that is more conscious? Is exactly like that. So for instance, and people ask me that, this is why I put it here. It doesn't mean this is the number you need to follow. But on average, marketing spending in 2018 was 7.9 of revenues of business to business, and product companies spend 6.3, so more for business to business. I think it's revenues for business to consumer product. Sorry, I spent 6.3. So the average of business to business and business to consumer is 7.9. Sorry, I have a mistake in this slide. The business to consumer, this should be business to consumer. No, sorry, I'm getting confused. The business to business spend 6.3 for business to business that sell products, that's the right thing. And the services for the business to business for companies that sell services was a little bit more than when they sell products. And when we talk about business to consumer, so remember, business to business is when my business sells to another business. The business to consumer companies spend even more because, of course, they have to reach more people. So imagine if I sell just this pen, I have to reach a lot of people to get the volume that I want. But if I sell maybe, I don't know, paper to companies, what I want is that one company buys a lot of paper. So I need less clients. That's why is the difference on the budget. You don't need to follow these numbers. As I told you, I didn't finish the story. I brought the schools up to capacity in 6 months, but only doing public relations. So only using the materials at the school and only using the audiences of the school. So whenever you do a budget, I want you to find your niche. So if you think for the preschools, I didn't need to reach everybody. I needed to reach moms to be super happy with their kids at school. So I will make sure they will talk to other moms. When moms meet at the park, what they do is they talk about their kids. And if they're super proud of what their kids were doing at the school, they will tell other moms. So find your niche and concentrate your efforts in key potential customers. Invest, remember what we say, in the own, earn, and share media first, okay? Without paying. Make sure you have a very clear marketing objective and a plan. I didn't, now if I continue the story, yes, I left, I worked for these schools, and then went back for other 5 years at the media agency. So in total, I worked in marketing, full marketing, for more than 10 years. 10 years with big companies and many years with, in between, 5 years with the smaller companies. So what I noticed, and that the reason why today I teach more strategy than marketing, even though today you are in this class with me that is marketing, but it's more marketing strategy, is because I realized doesn't matter what budget you have, even the big companies or the small companies, if you don't have a clear where your business is going, you are wasting your money in marketing. So you need to know where your business is going so you have a marketing that is aligned to where you want to take your business. So make sure you have a clear marketing objective and a plan, and be focused on your efforts. Sometimes in marketing, we try one thing, it didn't work. We try the next thing, we try the next thing. Just to give you an idea, usually even the big companies left an investment of marketing for at least 3 months, because they know by experience that someone has to hear the message at least 3 times to take an action. So imagine if I'm driving through the street in a town center, in the center of a city, and I see a new sign. What happens is I'm driving, and the first time I say, oh, there is a new store here, but I don't go in. The next time I'm again doing some, maybe taking a coffee, and I see the sign again. Oh yes, I forgot. There is this new place here. And the third time that I go maybe to take a coffee or was going to the cleaners, oh yes, I forgot. Maybe I can take 2 minutes to go in. So it's not that with just one time people will convert. It's just that people will need to connect and connect and connect until they realize, oh yes. You know, the brain makes that connection. This is a new place, or this is a new product. I want to try it. So how to create a marketing plan. And for this, it is important that if, as I said before, if you don't know where you're heading, you can be wasting a lot of money. So if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. So even if the wind is in your favor, if you don't know where you're going, you're wasting your time. Okay, rule number 1 when you're creating your marketing plan. Know your marketing goal, that it should mirror the business goals. We just say you need to know where you want to take your business, so you mirror that with your marketing. Some examples of marketing goals, because you can tell me, oh my God, but that's super complex. Some marketing goals are measurable. Like if I say to you, I want to increase my sales in 25%, that's measurable. But sometimes it's not that measurable. Like maybe you want to increase brand awareness and you cannot measure, but you can know that of the people that attended this event, more people tend to stop more at your desk, or so that could be also. So there are qualitative goals and quantitative goals. Quantitative is when you have a number that you can measure, but it's also be qualitative. Like I want to increase the number of people that buy the brand and prefer my brand versus my competitors. Maybe you can start seeing a trend, but not necessarily you can quantify it. So I want you to think of qualitative goals, the quality, as like trends that you start seeing, and quantitative, the ones that are measurable. So increase brand awareness, generate high quality leads, acquire new customers, increase website traffic, establish industry authority. For instance, that one is one that is not easy to measure. But how do you know you have established an industry authority? Maybe because they call you to do a presentation, or maybe because they call you to be in an interview. So you become, that's not a number that you can quantify, but you can see that that's a trend. Increase customer value, boost brand engagement, and increase revenue. Okay? The next tip that you really want to know is to know your client. Are you in the business to consumer? That means that you are selling to consumer. In the business to business model, that means that you're selling to businesses, or in the business to government. Sometimes people ask me, okay, you know what? I sell paper to company. Let's say something easier. I sell napkins to companies, but the napkins are used by the end users. Or maybe I sell napkins to little stores and the stores sell it to customers. How do I know which one is my model? So I want you to see the difference between customer and user. The way the models I describe here is because of the customer, the one that pays. So when I'm in the business to consumer model, that means that maybe I sell cosmetics and the buyer is the final person, is a consumer that is paying. But if I sell cosmetics to stores and the stores pay, even though at the end they sell it to customers, I'm in the business to business. And if I sell cosmetics to the government because they're gonna give, they're gonna help a nonprofit because the government is paying, I'm in the business to government model. So always think who's paying, okay? Then really understand your competition. It's difficult to know where you are if you don't know who are your competitors. Sometimes we say, oh, but nobody's my competitor. Okay, maybe you don't have a direct competitor. Maybe the juice that you make is super unique. But it doesn't mean there are no other juices out there. Or maybe you sell an amazing service. You are you have this new model to teach kids math. It doesn't mean that there's nothing out there. Maybe it's nothing exactly like yours, but there are maybe other substitute products or new participants entering. So I want you to think of all these options so you can compare it. Always in life, it's good to have a benchmark. Even for us, how do you know that you are being better at the exercise that you do, for instance, or that you are improving in learning a language? Because you have a benchmark. So it's very important to know your competition. And guess what? We need to know our competitors to know what makes us unique. If we don't know who are our competitors, we don't know what makes us unique. Okay, then it comes the unique selling proposition. This is why you should buy from me instead of my competition. What makes me unique that I want to buy from? What makes you unique that makes me buy from your business and not from another business? If you're trying to create, that's from Elon Musk. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. So we just saw the key things that we need to know. I'm gonna go back so we remember the first four. You need to have where you are going, the business objective. You need to know who's your client, either consumer, business, or government. You need to know who are your competitors so you know what makes you unique. What are you gonna say? You know, you buy from me because I have this that nobody else has. But now we need to see all the recipes that make also your marketing. And that's called the marketing mix. When I started marketing, it was only for product, price, promotion, and place. But things have changed so much that now there are 7. Product, price, promotion, place, people, processes, and physical evidence. Okay? Let's start one by one. Okay, I see I have some people raising the hand. Can you put the questions in the chat so Jesus can tell me? It's okay if you want to write it in Spanish, for instance, it's okay too. But please put it in the Q&A. Okay, in the question and answers at the bottom, it says Q&A. That's where you can put your questions. Okay, the product is, I'm saying product, but it could be service, okay? It doesn't make sense to develop a product or service that nobody buys, okay? Many businesses decide to create a product or service first and then market it. However, the most successful companies are the ones that look at customer needs first and then develop the right product or service. I was talking to Steve just before we started the presentation, and he said to me that the New Way branches has a, like, you know, those 4 pillars that he showed you. That was based on interviewing the customers to know what they really needed, that they came back with that. So it's always very important to understand your client, what are their needs, and then how to connect with all of them. So somebody is asking me to go back to the marketing mix. So again, their product, price, promotion, place, people, process, and physical evidence. And the first one is product, okay? So even if you have a product or a service, make sure whatever you have created is based on the needs of your segments, of your target. So when we are looking at the product, you want to look at the functionality of your product or service, the appearance, the warranty, the quality, the packaging. If it's the service, will be also how that maybe that product is, that service is packaged, because we need to package products too. How is the perception of that product? Even if you are in the web, how do you present that concept of a service? Okay. And I'm going to use an example of a real client that we have. It's called Sambo Street Food. So they have a truck that is parked all the time in the same place. Here is the address if you're curious. And they started with us. And one thing that they have been so successful is to really grow using organic marketing. So when we talk about the product, in this case, the product you see is the truck, then the tables and how they lay out everything, okay? And the product also will be their website, how they present themselves online. Okay. Let's talk when we talk about price. So what is the price? So why I'm presenting you these 7 buckets, like call it this way, is because remember at the beginning of presentation, I explained to you that when we talk about marketing, we usually only think about advertising, but marketing is much more. So we said we need to understand the client, what are their needs, how can I satisfy those needs? But once I have all of that, what are the buckets that I need to make sure are working? The first one, my product. I need to make sure my product is communicating what I want to, or service, communicating what I want to communicate. Then the price. The value of a product or service is not just what customers are prepared to pay for it. The price must be competitive. However, that does not mean that it must be the cheapest. Sometimes when we price our products too cheap, we think are bad. Instead, small businesses must compete by adding value through additional services or adding benefits to offer more value to their customers. When we compete, usually when we have a product that is not different than the rest, we compete with a lot of people. When we start adding value or making it more benefits that make you unique, then your competition gets narrower, and then you can be more attractive to clients. So when we talk about price, let's think also about the selling price, the discount, the payment agreements. Think what happened in 2008. A lot of companies had a lot of assets. So think about, for instance, when that was the time that Airbnb, Uber, WeWork appear in the market, because there were all these empty spaces that people needed to put them to work. So they changed the way the payment, how you pay, how you connect with those clients. So you rent a small piece, or maybe you have a subscription model. The price matching services, or even credit terms can make a big difference. Okay. So in this case, this company that is a food truck, the way they do the pricing is they have negotiated with Uber Eats, DoorDash, and they have their own prices. Because when the pandemic started, everybody started losing a lot of money with Uber Eats and DoorDash. They managed to negotiate how they will present the prices in these 2 platforms so they can make money. And so they can have a price when people go directly to the truck or have a price when people order them. And that has become very common, for instance. If you look at a lot of products, for instance, that are in Amazon, if you go to their own website, you may find that they're a little bit cheaper in their own website because they have a lot of fees in Amazon. So that's something that we are starting to see more and more. So be careful what is your selling price when you offer a discount. Maybe think if your product or your service is too expensive, can you get another model of payment, payment agreements, price matching service, or change the credit terms. Place. It is the place where customers buy the product or service. It is the way the product or service is distributed, and it must be appropriate and convenient for the client. You want to be where the client wants to find you. Products and services must be available in the right place at the right time, in the right amount, under the right conditions. So you want to be where the client wants you to be. For instance, a lot of companies with food, many of them, for instance, start in markets because they need people to try it. It's difficult that they only find you online when they cannot try you. That's for foods. Maybe candles if you have an amazing scent. Maybe some services, we just want some services online. We are not interested of driving 1 hour to find a service. So how can you offer it to me that I go into my computer and I start using your service, downloading your book, printing your templates? So how do we do this? So in the place, I want you to think the distribution channels you are using, the logistics, the service levels, the location, the market coverage, and the display. So it's not only that I have a store or that I have a website, but how do I reach my clients in the distribution channels, the logistics, what is the service that I have? The location could be digital or physical, the market coverage, and the display. Even the location, if you Google eXp Realty, you will find that that's one of the biggest real estate companies nowadays. They don't have offices. It's an island with avatars. People connect to their to the office through their avatar. So place could be different ways, okay? So in this case of the truck, they have the location, the place, but they also have a website when they have all the menus too. So they live physically and digitally. Promotion, as I said to you, usually this is the only bucket we think when we are thinking about marketing. Promotion is how the company communicates what it does and its offers to its customers, including branding, advertising, public relations, corporate identity, sales, offers, and exhibitions. Promotions seek to attract attention. That's why we use it. Therefore, the message should be attractive, concise, and consistent. I forgot to tell you that don't worry, all of you are getting all these slides. So after you leave, you will receive, I don't know, I guess Jesus can explain more how we're gonna get it or branches, but I already gave all the slides so you can have access to them. So the promotion, that advertising that you do, a big required is that it's consistent. It should be consistent. So whenever I find you, I know what you're talking. It doesn't mean that if I have more than one segment, I need to tell the same to everyone. Remember, everything is based on my client and how do I communicate with that client. So if I sell to government, maybe my website needs a page that talks to that specific client, the government, and maybe I do a capability statement to communicate with the government, but maybe I sell to consumers. So maybe I need, I don't know, maybe I use Instagram and I do a promotion on Instagram for my direct to consumer buyers of my product or service. So of course, the promotion will always be aligned with the needs of your client, but it's all about, it's usually what we see, the brand, the logo, the advertising, if we do public relations, a lot of the channels that we talk, when I talk about the channels, live in this promotion. But by now, we have realized that, you know, the place, the price, Is all of that, the product, all of that is part of marketing. And I can play with all those elements. So remember, when we talk at the promotion, we talk about this for buckets, and I recommend that you start with the own, earn, and share media. Okay, and finally with the paid media. Okay. When I look at the El Sambo street food, one thing, and if you Google, they have really increased the reviews. They are really good at reviews. When they started, they didn't have, but they did work on their Google My Business. They changed their buttons. They really nurture their Google My Business and the reviews. But when I put the words El Sambo street food, look that they're everywhere. That gives me a lot of trust. That tells me that they exist, that people are eating there, that people like the food. So think even as a friend to Google your business, because of course, if you Google your own business, you won't get what they're seeing necessarily because you have cookies. Or just the track that you use those links. So ask someone to Google and send you a picture to see all that activity that you're doing, your promotions. Remember the promotions, and I'm gonna go back. It doesn't mean you're paying. It doesn't mean you're paying advertising. It means that you're communicating either through your local media, to your reviews, Google My Business, Yelp, and others, and the share media, okay? So maybe you're paying, but all this is also promotion. So whatever you're doing, if you think this company has really good reviews here, also in Yelp, also in Facebook, TripAdvisor. So it's a place that honestly, why not to go? It has pretty good reviews all over the place. Then people. How you present yourself is so important. If I sell wigs, I mean, I should be out with my wig, because how can I prove that that's an amazing product that I'm telling you is so good? So you need to, or if I sell shoes, or if I offer a service to do accounting, I need to be using my own accounting service, or otherwise what it says about me. So people are also part of your marketing. They are all those that come in contact with with customers and give the first impression. The reputation of a brand lies on the hand of their employees. Therefore, they must be well-trained, motivated, and have the right attitude. Even your voice message on the phone, your chatbot, your email, all that is people. So imagine of people, every time you a touch point that you talk, you communicate, you have a two-way communication with your client, that's referred to people. So you have to be extremely careful. So people is about the service, the attitude, the customer service, the appearance, and the employee portrayal. So in this case, this is the chef of El Sambo Street Food, and you can see him with his apron and his old image, and he even has this image in his website. Processes is, imagine that if I sell, let's say, candles, and I have my Instagram, and you go in my Instagram, and then you click in my link tree, and from the link tree, you go to my e-commerce site, and from the e-commerce site, you receive the product, and then that's the whole process. So that's how you want to connect, the whole process. So I want you to think as a user and how you want that experience. That's also marketing. Think of when you go to a place and you go and you see seamless. We were with Jesus in a course about customer service at the Mandarin Hotel on Friday. And I was surprised that the lady said that the best customer service is when they think ahead of what you need. So think of this process that is so seamless and that you're thinking ahead to make it so pleasant, the whole shopping experience for your clients. So process is let's say what it is. Customers are not interested in how the business is run. They don't want to know the details. What matters to them is to acquire their products or service easily. Don't make your client waste energy. I think that's key. There are many times that we waste energy, either getting a services or a product. If you are one of those companies, you really need to work on your process. Issues such as time delay, information, speed of systems and platforms, and connectivity can impact the customer experience. So how can we make it seamless? So when we talk about process, I want you to think of delivery time, information to the client, waiting time, connectivity, problems, solution, helpful team. Remember, our goal is to save the client's energy. One thing that I like, for instance, for example, street food is any social media that they have, they're using Linktree. Linktree has also a free version. So you can see here is linktr.ee. So linktr.ee. That's Linktree. And what the beauty of it is, maybe I'm in Instagram and then I click here and it gives me an options like a call to action. So do you want to order online? Do you want to visit our website? Do you want to use our delivery partners? Do you want to see the menu or do you want to see the blog? So that's a good way to do a call to action and ease the process, because sometimes they send us to the website and you go to the website and you are lost in the website because you start the whole process from zero. So how can you make it seamless? The physical evidence, when you integrate everything, is the integrated experience where all the elements of the marketing mix combine and generate a unique and pleasant interaction that is in line with the customer needs and expectations. You know, when you get to these places and everything is like the person with the price, with the location, with the look and feel, with the website, it's like everything flows and is connected. That's the physical experience. So physical experience is like the synergy of all these elements. So remember, we started the class thinking that marketing was only about advertising, and now we see that all these elements. So if you're starting to do your marketing, make sure that you have the 7 P's completely aligned and that you are using everything organically before you start. So for instance, if I show you El Sambo, so they have their website with their information, they have their Instagram, their images, the location, even the environment of the place and the mood of the place. So how can I integrate everything, either in the product or services that I'm promoting? Finally, it's important that you set up key performance indicators. How are you going to track the results? How are you going to track what you are doing is the right thing? So for instance, one thing that we found with El Sambo street food, when they have all these profiles in Google, we found that, for instance, that if by tracking the times, they could see which days were performing better than others. So they could make maybe like ladies' night or bring a friend or a promotion with a dessert. So they can move their schedule from maybe even, for instance, Fridays. Nobody's coming in the morning. So maybe Friday's breakfast or delivery, they can deliver your breakfast. Or so when you track data, you can make better decisions. So even though we saw all the things that they have done that they're amazing, by tracking, they were able to see more opportunities. Finally, I have a call to action for you, is that I created this chart to help you put together your business. There are all the topics that we saw today. So I want you to write your marketing goals for the year at least. The next year, what do you want to achieve, or the next 6 months? Who's your key target market? So who are the people that you're trying to reach, or the companies that you try to reach, or the government agencies you try to reach? Who are your competitors? What makes you unique? And then really go through and think, what are the product elements of your marketing mix, the price elements of your marketing mix, the promotion elements of your marketing mix, the place elements of your marketing mix, how the people convey that marketing mix, the process of your marketing mix, how everything is connecting in your physical evidence, and then how you're going to measure it. So now, if I know we are just on time, but if you have questions, I welcome any question that you have.
All right, just some final housekeeping items, in between, if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A. This is a recorded webinar and you'll be receiving the link for our YouTube channel once it's already uploaded in YouTube, along with the presentation as well as a reference point. In addition, if you want to meet with Adriana or with our other spokes under the Community Navigator program, I have already placed the link, so you could go ahead and schedule the meeting with Adriana, with myself, with our other 20 specialized consultants from the other organizations as well, and it's no cost to you. Also, we have some upcoming events that we'll be hosting and having. So definitely it's a great opportunity so we could have a name to a face and talk on how we can continue addressing your challenges, your business needs, but at the same time start implementing your 2023 goals. This is a good opportunity for you to start implementing those marketing strategies as we speak. So I have a few hand raised. So if Miss Minette Williams will be able to type up the question, and Joanne Oliver, if you're able to type up the question, by all means, I'll be able to speak on your behalf.
How many questions do we have up?
We had 3 or 4, and I was able to answer them on your side, Adriana.
Okay, anybody else? But I want you to really take the time to do this exercise. This presentation was developed to really bring the best of your marketing without investing money. I mean, of course, you have to maybe invest in your brand and things like that, but without paying advertising. Build your marketing structure first, your basics. You will see when you have all of that, how much you can play, how much people will see you different, how you can attract even your current clients, maybe even encouraged to go to connect with you different. Okay. So use the presentation and use the canvas to work on it.
From the looks of it, I have no questions, so I'll pass the baton to Steve.
Thank you so much, Adriana. And I do want to echo what you said and have the businesses understand how important that canvas that you provided at the end of the presentation is going to be for them. I love the structure. They literally get a helicopter view of all of their marketing in that one space. So I do believe in the value of those canvases, and I do want to echo Adriana's advice. Guys, please join with me in saying, giving a resounding round of applause and thank you to Adriana for such a wonderful presentation. Very detailed, excellent in so many ways. And I do hope that our participants, take the time to review what you would have shared today, Adriana. A lot of value in it. So again, thank you, Adriana. Jesus, thank you. And everyone, thank you so much for being here this evening, for sacrificing your time and investing in your success. So thanks again, everyone.
And then one last comment. If anyone wants to meet with Adriana for the one-on-one, please register in the link below. So like that we'll be able to start coordinating everything, the full logistics, and get the ball rolling. Okay. So thank you once again. I'll be sending everyone the email with the video file, with the link to register, the presentation, everything, my contact information. So like that we'll be able to carry the conversation for next week and moving forward. So thank you once again, and have a good evening. Take care.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.